Hello, and a very warm welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please remember to hit the subscribe button and to ring the bell to be notified of my weekly videos. This week's blog post has actually sort of been inspired by you guys, really. I've had quite a few people get in touch and ask me to talk about routine and sort of how we're coping as a family through this time. I did film a blog post at the beginning of lockdown, I can't even remember how many weeks ago that was, about how we were dealing with things. And as the time's going on, our routine and the way we're working as a family has adjusted, and I'm finding actually at the moment it's working quite well. It is also Mental Health Awareness Week, and I think that actually this ties in really nicely with that, because it is a really stressful, worrying time, and lots of people say, how are you coping? How are you dealing with it? And so I thought I'd talk through that as well. So at the beginning of lockdown, I talked about my worry box, and it's sort of here, and at times it has its lid very firmly on. And if I do let the lid open, I'm just letting little things come out and address. It is really overwhelming. As I have mentioned, my husband's got a fish business, supplying fish to restaurants. Obviously, that has pretty much ground to a halt. I have B&Bs and holiday lets, so it's just, you know, financially it's really, really stressful. And actually, if I was to let it become stressful, I think I'd fall to pieces. So I've got my worry box with the lid on, and I'm just addressing things as and when they crop up, and trying to make the best of this situation, thinking outside the box as much as possible, but also trying to keep positive. And lots of people say to me, how do you keep so positive? You've got so much energy. And I think negative energy is so draining, and I've been there. I've had depression, I've been on antidepressants, I've had therapy, I've been through it all, and actually giving in to the negative stuff is so draining. So actually trying to keep positive is really uplifting, and then actually you have a much better day and a more productive day. So I am trying to focus on the positives as much as I possibly can, and yeah, keep that lid firmly closed is my best advice at the moment, and just deal with what comes along. So I start my day, as many of you know, with a workout. Now, for my body it's amazing, but for my mental state of mind it is crucial for me. I get up, I get my clothes out the night before, they're there on my chair in my bathroom, I just get up, put them on and go and do it, literally on autopilot. Now, you don't have to do a workout. You could go for a dog walk, you could do meditation, you could do yoga, whatever it is. I find if I get up, get going, I have got the energy and I'm in the right frame of mind for the rest of the day. I find the days where I am slow in the morning and I'm, you know, lethargic and I don't do my workout, the day just, it's heavy and it's draining. Actually, just get up and get going is my best advice. So I get up at 6 and I do my workout. At 7 I make sure that everybody is awake, because I creep downstairs very quietly, and it's my special time from 6 till 7. Make sure they're all awake, and then I go and do the animals. So I let the dogs out. We've sadly lost all of our chickens, which is heartbreaking, but I do the ponies, do what I need to do. Normally actually only takes me about 15 minutes. And then I'm back in the house, make sure everybody's getting dressed and start breakfast. And I just find having a routine, everybody knows where they are and it's less stressful. I think people thrive from a routine and from structure. And I really was aware of this when the children were very, very young. In fact, when Arch was a baby, and they all had severe reflux, and he was a really, really tricky baby. And I started a routine with him, pretty hardcore one, Gina Ford, for those of you who know it, but it worked. It worked for us. It was a military operation, but it worked, and I had a happy baby, and I was happy because we all knew where we were. So breakfast is at 7:30, and then getting dressed, getting ready, I quickly clear up breakfast, and I jump in the shower at about 8:15. And then the children's lessons start at 8:45. And that then is my time. I'm around to supervise, I'm around to help, I'm around to make sure they're doing the right thing. But that's my time where I work and also where I do my cleaning. So I have talked to you before about my cleaning schedule, but it is just totally invaluable. It's packed full of lots of info, and I know what I have to do. I talk through every morning, every evening, every day, every week, every fortnight, and it's just a rough guide. I do stick to it fairly well because then I know that it's done, and that is just one less stress, knowing that I just can have a quick look. I don't even have to think, I just do it. So that is my time for cleaning and work. Depends how much, you know, I've got to do that day, but how much cleaning I've got to do that day. Then when it's break time, I take the dogs for a quick walk and Gussie has a drink and a biscuit. The other two are actually with my husband in the morning because there's better internet connection in his office. And I also do washing, laundry, change beds, depending on what my schedule tells me to do. At 12, I prep lunch, and at 12:30 we have lunch. I either go and pick them up and bring them back, or Simon brings them back and we will have lunch together. I'm trying to have a rest after lunch between sort of 1:15, 1:30 and 2 o'clock when they have their next lesson. A couple of weeks ago I was exhausted and I was really run down and really tired, and so actually I went to bed for half an hour. I'm not needing that sleep anymore, so I read or spend a bit of time chatting to the children, whatever it might be, but it's rest time, which I think is important, to have a rest. So then they have lessons from 2 till 2:45, 3 o'clock. And then from 3 till 4, I let them do whatever they want to do, whether it's chatting to friends, whether it's a bit of tech time, although they've probably had quite a lot of time looking at a screen in the morning, whether it's running around kicking a ball, whatever it might be. But that is their free time, and another hour where I can get my head down and do a bit of work or whatever it might be. 4 o'clock, tea time. We are loving afternoon tea. And, you know, it might just be a hobnob, that's fine. It might be a scone, it might be a lemon drizzle cake or brownies or flapjacks or whatever it might be. But 4 o'clock we're having tea, because I found that the children just couldn't get through from lunch till supper. They were hungry and I just didn't want them snacking on rubbish. You know, I might give them a piece of fruit as well with afternoon tea, but they tend to have fruit at lunchtime. 4:30 we go and ride, dog walk, do the ponies, and that is our time outside. And it's actually, we're really enjoying just getting out and doing. And I muck out. The children are very helpful mucking out, but actually I quite like doing it, and I put a podcast in and I just have a bit of time for me when they're off playing, doing their own thing. So it depends on the day, but they're helpful. But I love listening to a podcast and having a bit of time just to decompress. I think it's quite important. Then I get supper prepped between 5:30 and 6, and we tend to eat 6:30, 6:45. So it's a little bit later because we're sitting down and eating as a family. When they're at proper school, they tend to eat earlier and actually go to bed slightly earlier. They're going to bed slightly later. I like to have them up in bed by 8:15, and then they can read. We also have a thing which is really, really sweet, Madame Coco's. So Coco's got a double bed and they all pile into her bed in Madame Coco's room. She's got a sign on the door saying whether Madame Coco's open or not. And they natter and they have time together, and actually it's a really special time for them. So that doesn't happen every night because I encourage them to read, but it's, yeah, Madame Coco's is quite fun. We have a good chuckle about it. In the evening, once they've gone to bed, I'm actually maybe doing the ironing, or I'm cooking, either cooking meals for Charlie for work, or I'm prepping meals in advance for us. I'm really into batch cooking. I think it's really important to use our time wisely, and so if I'm making a soup, I'll double the quantities, and then we've got it in the freezer and it's easy to pull out. My meal planner is just invaluable. So at the beginning of lockdown, I couldn't think more than 2 days ahead actually, but now I'm weekly meal planning and I use this. So this I designed. It was inspired by a friend, but it's got my freezer diary in there. It has got helpful tips, and it has got space where you can write in all your meals, and it's got shopping list which you can tear out and take with you, or you can do it online, whatever. But the thing about having it all in one book is you can look back and see. So that I'm finding really, really useful, just to know where we are with food and what I need to buy. It's great having the shopping list all there. So I think you know, it's just important for me to have structure to my day. The night before, or even the morning before, I will know pretty much what I'm doing the following day. I don't always write a list, but I know in my head, okay, I've got to do that, and I have time slots. So if I'm doing the cleaning, I'm like, right, okay, I've got to get it done by 10 o'clock, because then I need to work from 10 till 11:30. And so I just plan my day carefully, with structure. My brother says it's like a military procedure, and yeah, it kind of is at the moment, but that is working really well for us. And I think just me getting up and getting going, getting active, it just releases such positive vibes, and then, you know, we have a happy, productive day. So I hope me chatting that all through with you is helpful. I hope that you're managing well. I hope that you're coping, and get in touch if you've got any questions. I'm here to help if I can. Sending love to you all as always, and have a lovely weekend. Actually, it's bank holiday and it's half term, so yay! I'm going to spend a lot of time in the garden because I love being out there. I find it really therapeutic. And so you've got to find the things that work for you and that make you happy and bring you joy in times like this.